All right. Okay. What's today's clearing? Oh, from criticism to praise. All right. All right. Today. Keep clearing from criticism to praise. Hey, Cynthia. All right. Cynthia, so I keep getting this thing saying it's not posted on Facebook. I don't know if it is or not. And then we're supposed to be on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, so. Alrighty, today is quantum consciousness. The reactions are the doorway into the subconscious. And then just a reminder that in an hour from now, we have a group clearing. What's that group clearing? Oh, what is that group clearing on? It is on. Oh, from criticism to praise. Okay, so that's for people who get whacked with emotional wounding and hurt and traumatized, which is the entire world. Yeah, if you're alive, you'll be traumatized. So, reactions are the doorway into the subconscious. What does that mean? Well, I have a book on it. And what it means is okay. What does that mean? Your reactions are the doorway to the subconscious. Okay, think about this. When you have a reaction, I'm just going to remind you because actually you don't know this. I'm going to enlighten you, okay? So we have reactions because there's already some kind of wounding. There's something inside the body. Okay. Meaning there's carryover, there's traumas that have happened in the past, mostly coming from past lives. Keep in mind that nothing really begins here. What I mean by that is whatever angst you're experiencing, whatever traumas you're experiencing, whatever intense situations that you grew up with, in the home, any kinds of abuses, everything that you're experiencing is being recreated for you to be able to heal that wound. Okay? It's not like you're being punished or tortured or you're bad or there's something wrong with you. It has to do with the soul evolving and knowing itself in all ways. How it knows itself is through direct experience of life. Okay, whatever that is, life, everything of life, everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, all of it. So people don't understand. They think that, oh, it's happening now. Why is this happening to me? Okay. or that someone's doing something to you. That's also not true, but we believe it. Cynthia, you are a character. Okay, so coming back to reactions, okay, and that being the doorway back. But first, you have to understand that your reactions literally are coming from the deeper wound within. Okay, so when we're in life at a soul level, before you enter the body, you actually believe that you could come here and get through this issue or hundreds of issues this time, okay? And here's the problem. When you're not in a physical form and you're making these agreements, you're in a state of awareness, pure awareness. You have no attachments, you're not emotional. And so there's agreements that you're making at these soul levels with your soul family. And you're going to come back in and recreate scenarios that cause reactions, okay? The intention is that you understand that your reaction can take you in to the deeper wounding. But most people don't know this, okay? So when you have a reaction, if you allow yourself to just surrender to what are those emotions? What's getting lit up inside? What are those intense feelings that are arising? So remember, it's not going to be that very first reaction. It's by the surrendering to relaxing into softening your body and dropping into an emotion so that you're knowing that emotion all the way, fully. Okay. Once you are surrendering to an emotion, what happens is in that surrender, you literally start to feel the next layer of emotion that's in the subconscious. And if you surrender to that emotion and know it, then the next layer will start to present. Okay. But the key is the surrender. And the surrender is when you're not thinking the story, you're not telling the story, you're not, you're not in your mind thoughts, you are actually becoming that emotion so fully that there's nothing but that. So you don't even have a sense of where you are. You don't have a sense of anybody around you. If there's people, you're in that emotion so deeply that you become that emotion. And by becoming that emotion, that's how you start to anchor in or drop in to the feelings and the stuff that's buried in the subconscious. See, the thing is, and you probably figured this out already, you cannot access your subconscious with your conscious mind. It doesn't work. Okay. And you can access your subconscious through your emotions, but it's in the surrender. Okay. So here's the thing. A lot of people, like I've worked with many thousands of people, and many people will tell me, oh yeah, I've done all this emotional work. And they're telling me they've done all this emotional work. I'm looking at them thinking, clearly you have not, but you're thinking you have. And why do they think they have? Because they've done a lot of crying. Yeah, I cried and cried and cried. I cried a river, okay? But I still have the same problem. Nothing's changed. Well, what's up is you're in your story. You're recycling, okay? If you're recycling, telling your story, you can cry for eternity and nothing will change. So this is why in my book, The Way Back Home, I talk about reactions, and that is the doorway into the subconscious. So by surrendering to your emotions, by softening and allowing yourself to feel them without stopping it, if you keep going, if you're doing it right, if you're surrendering and really experiencing these emotions, then like I said, the emotions underneath that are buried in the subconscious will start to present. And then you're feeling the deeper stuff. Okay, then we're getting some traction here. Now we're starting to feel some real emotions that have to do with particular issues that we have to unravel. Okay, so the core stuff, for example, like our really core issues are, we don't feel loved. If you don't feel loved, you're going to believe things like you're not enough, you don't matter, you don't belong. You'll feel like people will ostracize you, they'll hurt you, they'll punish you. But it all comes down to the same thing. It's still that feeling like you don't feel loved. So all of the issues one has is connected to that very issue. And then on top of that, we do have the core issue, which is the initial separation from the all that is. And that angst is always with people. And in that, you can be always looking for the one. Is that the one? Is that the one? Looking for love. That's what we're doing. Looking for love. Everyone's looking for love. Okay. So when you learn how to do your emotional work, your life will start changing. It's very simple. And again, it's like not everyone can do that simply because you've trained yourself not to feel. In fact, right now I have a good friend. He's actually the writer of my materials of the book Way Back Home. He's also taking our information and putting together the Know Thyself book. But when I first met him, he was totally numb. Numb. We were just talking about it yesterday because he came from LA and I was in Sonoma, and he spent 3 days. And each day, he'd come in and I do these really intense things to get him to feel. I started thinking, this might be hopeless, but we did crack through. But that began his journey, because his whole life was spent not feeling, numbing out, because he grew up in a situation, narcissistic father and absent mother. Meant, she was physically there, but that was it. So that, there's a lot of trauma when you have a narcissistic parent. So he learned how to just shut his feelings down, don't feel anything. It was safer that way. And he went numb. So I met him in his 40s. I think I was in his 40s. Yep. And, it began his journey. And he is still committed and still uses the work that he learned from me and the book the Way Back Home book. And, to this day, he continues to do that work and keeps every time we do, we get deeper. I continue to do the work. Okay. It's like, until everything, for me personally, until it's like 100% liberated, I'm going to keep doing whatever I need to do to unravel any kind of angst or wounding or reactions or anything that happens in my world. So I use this work and I use my reactions to access the subconscious, the very thing I've been teaching, for 20 something years, and nothing's changed. It's the same because it's an absolute. The work is absolute, meaning it works. It thoroughly works. It works 100% when you're doing it. So, it's like people think they're doing their work because they're crying, or, having an emotion. But most of the time people are emoting. This is a crack up. I remember we were doing a workshop in Hawaii, and we were out on the beach and people were in their own areas, and I was sitting looking at the water with another friend, and this participant behind me was yelling and screaming and pounding, the sand, and, you hear all this noise, and that's all it was noise, okay? So I turned around, looked at her, I said, hey, and I said her name, and she lifts up and goes, huh? Clearly she was not in a deep feeling state. She was making noise, okay? And that's what a lot of people do. They just like make a lot of noise, but they're not really feeling, okay? So again, if you're numb, you're going to have to find ways to start to feel stuff, okay? And if you're able to feel, then pay attention to your reactions. If someone does something or says something or you hear something or anything, any time, every single one of your reactions is actually connected to some kind of wounding in your subconscious. Every reaction, I'm not talking maybe that reaction or this reaction, no. Every reaction you have is connected to a deep wound, okay? That's why we use our reactions to access the subconscious. And in my book, The Way Back Home, we clearly describe how to do the work. We clearly describe your reactions. We clearly describe how to surrender, all the steps. There's descriptions. There's different examples. Different people. Everything is true. Every person is true and real, and every scenario is true and real, and it's pretty cool. But it shows you how like, because people, it gets really, because you're so reactive all the time, you're not thinking about it. I mean, reaction is also like find yourself judging, making somebody wrong because you're having a reaction. Okay, the feelings inside where you feel some kind of charge in your body, or a zing, or like an intense, you feel your whole body flare up. Those are reactions. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's what's really cool is when you heal these wounds inside, those reactions don't happen anymore. I know that's for a lot of people. It's like, how is that even possible? Can't believe it. Well, it's absolutely true. Okay. I have evidence of my own life and evidence of 100,000 other people. Not quite 100,000, maybe 50. So it works. This is why I keep doing it. This is why I write about it. This is why I talk about it, because it works. Okay. So your reactions are your doorway into the subconscious. If you want to unravel your healing, pay attention to your reactions. And when you can, use that initial reaction, that initial feeling to come in and start to go into the feelings, the emotions that are lodged inside. When you let yourself do that, you can feel like waves of energy, okay? And then what happens is as you're in that feeling state with that the initial feeling that you are aware of, by feeling the initial feeling, you will not unravel anything. It's by feeling that initial feeling so fully that you actually become that feeling, then the energy underneath, the subconscious emotion underneath starts to present, and then you've got another feeling. You're still not fully in the subconscious yet. You got to go about 3 feelings, emotions in. Here's your initial one of your feeling. Then you drop into the second one, which is sort of, kind of know it, but don't know it, but you're semi-touching the subconscious. And then by the third surrender into what's presenting, now you're hitting the subconscious, okay? In order to unravel any of your wounding, you have to unravel it from the subconscious. It doesn't just go away because you talk about it or think about it. You have to know it. That's the soul's journey. Know thyself. Know these energies, know the feelings, know the emotions all the way, and then you can move on to the next one. Okay, but every time you get a piece, every time you heal something within, your life is different. You're different. And it's cool because you didn't have to do anything. You changed. You changed from within. Your reactivities are going to be way less. Finding fault, judging others, everything starts to change. Mind chatter, mind thoughts start to slow down, start to shift and change. And you get liberated. I mean, isn't that what we're really here wanting to do, is be liberated from our wounding, from our pain, our angst, our suffering? Well, this is how we do it. Go into the subconscious, unravel that wounding. I just want to see if there's anything here. Oh, yeah. I am unraveling, been seeing that. Oh, good. The book is where we've got there'll be 10 segments to it, and it's Yeah, I don't teach. It's a great teaching. Okay, so unraveling been seen now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, reactions. This is my Cynthia, you're on a roll, girl. Okay, she's being silly. Okay. So yeah, so reactions, doorway into the subconscious. Learning how to do it. That's the key. One of the biggest issues people really do have is they're not able to either feel something or sustain a feeling. They might start to touch on it and then they can't maintain it or sustain it, and it goes away. This is also part of that whole programming that everyone's done. Think about it. Did you learn that, you don't want to be crying in front of people? I mean, for me, I remember in my world, my grandmother who raised us, it's like, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. I remember that one. Yeah, so she was really good at that one. And, so what I'm saying is that we learn how to push down, suppress our emotions. We want to be adults about something or big kid about something so we don't just cry. And when we have reactions, there's going to be an emotion. And what you want is you want to see what that, what is that? What's that emotion? What was that feeling? What was that? Okay. Oh, I feel a little hurt. Oh, I feel a little sad. Oh, my heart hurts. Oh, you take things personal. Okay. So then you're feeling hurt. You feel sad. Okay. The key is you don't just, when you feel it, you don't just ignore it or, okay, acknowledge it, but no, you want to go in and really just feeling into allowing yourself to really feel that emotion. And again, once you start doing that, then of course the energies under that you'll start to hit deeper places, which is what we want. Okay, let's see. What can we see here? Okay, guys. Oh yeah, okay. New book. Yeah, I have a book. Another one. It's a Know Thyself book, and we have a Know Thyself program. You might want to check it out because not only you're getting teachings, but you're also, I'm walking people through emotions, teaching you how to do this. No, okay, I'm going to post this question right here. Okay. Do we have to connect with? No, no, you're not going to connect with your super consciousness anyway. Okay, that's an intentional going into that vibrational frequency, one of the highest levels of you. No, that's not how you access your emotions. Don't be going there. Okay, no, that's up. You want to go down, in. Okay. Okay, hang on. Do we have to connect? No, but while dropping into emotions so that it clears? No, or can we do it from just yes? Okay, so what happens is in that surrender, okay, when there's layers, there'll be layers and layers, several layers. Once you start accessing, memories will pop through, visions will pop through, sometimes even past lives will come through, discarnates will come through, okay? So when you're in that state, when you're truly surrendered and you are in that emotion, and you are become it, so that there's nothing but the emotion. There's no thoughts. You don't even know where you are. You are that emotion. This is how you know the emotion. This is what the soul is trying to do. It wants to know itself in all ways in order to go back into the oneness. Okay, so the soul's journey is to know itself as creation. And as we know, creation is everything. So the soul wants to know everything. This is why you have so many experiences. Each one takes you to a different frequency of emotion, different feel. But basically, the soul, in order for it to know something, then you have to stay in the body. You have to stay conscious and present, and yet you become that emotion. That's when the soul understands it, it gets it, it feels it, it knows it, and then the energy releases. It unwinds, unravels, dissipates, dissolves, disappears, and it's gone. And the cool thing is, now when you're done, you're looking for that same kind of reaction. Oh, you can't find it. Oh, you can't even find the thought around it. How cool is that? Okay, so you guys, I'm telling you, here's what you don't know. For me personally, I was like a shattered human, completely incapable of even being in the world, for real. So I started my journey in 1984, and from there, that's when I discovered how to do emotional work, and I found that by doing this, my life changed. So all these years, to this day, I use what I talk about, the work that I talk about. I drop in and let things unravel, unwind. I found a peace just recently that I hadn't found ever in all the different work that I had done. But again, it came from having a reaction, okay? Having a reaction. And in that reaction, I found some of the deepest wounding with my dad. And you guys, this is so cool. This is honest to God for real, okay? So I found that peace that I had never found before. I had done a lot of work with my dad, okay? A lot of stuff like being abandoned, him leaving, but it was always about me missing, wanting my dad. Well, I finally got the other piece of it, which was I believed that he did. That's why he left. Never saw him. He abandoned because he didn't love me. When I hit that one, you guys, I was on the floor, okay? I couldn't stop, uncontrollable crying, okay? When I got through that, this is such a trip because I thought I was in my body, But I started, like, I had a friend and we would watch a movie or whatever, and we'd watch something that I'd seen before, and I'm going, holy cow, clearly I wasn't in my body. Clearly I wasn't here. So everything is different. I feel different. I feel more happy. I feel like glad to be here. So all kinds of cool things are happening. But my point is this. I still do my emotional work. I still use my reactions, okay? So that's why I'm telling y'all, this is how you find it. This is how you unravel it. This is how you clear it. If you need any guidance, get the book, The Way Back Home, and take Know Thyself. That class just started. It will teach you so many things, crazy. It's like the high level, high conscious teachings that's for everyone to be able to, live your life in a way that you're utilizing your reactions. You're also understanding all the other components of it, like we call like the blame game, or taking things personally, or accepting the business as it is, or we got like 10 different, there's actually more than 10 topics, but we go into depth and we do unraveling, and we do working with everyone gets an opportunity each time to get focused on and discover how to work the program, how to work, like for example, how do you use your reactions? Okay, hang on, here's another one. Do we need to pull the light down around us when doing the emotional clearing, or will this dissipate without going into others? Yeah, no, you don't. You're contained you're not out there. You're in here. Okay, so when you're in your own body, you're dropping into the subconscious. When you're in your subconscious, you're not releasing things. You're feeling the emotions. Okay, so you don't need to bring the light down around you. You just need to feel those emotions, surrender to them, let it come in waves, different pieces will happen. Like I said, sometimes memories will start to present, sometimes, past life stuff, discarnates, whatever. And energy, the emotional frequency that's been lodged in the subconscious literally dissolves, gone. It's gone. Game over. Don't have to keep revisiting that drama again, okay? Potent, powerful, you guys. I've been doing this kind of work since 1984. What is that? 80, 90, 2000, 22, whatever. 40 something, no, 30 something years. Yeah. So, 40 years. Yeah, it works. Totally works. All right, just a reminder today, we do have a group clearing from criticism to praise. That means, you know, people, you get whacked as a kid, get beat down, okay? So we want to take those traumas out, release things, so it'll change your reality, which is what all our group clearings do. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, how does defensiveness play into our feelings, frequency? Okay, so here's the thing. When we get defensive, aren't we pushing against something that we heard someone is saying to us, pointing out to us, that we actually do? Okay, you're not going to get defensive unless something's getting hit inside, some kind of emotion, some kind of belief, you know, some kind of defensiveness. Okay, so yes, being defensive is also showing you, there's something here. There's something to unravel. There's something that you can liberate by feeling your emotions. Okay, I'm not talking recycle. I'm not talking about storytelling while you're feeling. You know, it's like someone does something to you and you're crying, but you're telling the story in your mind. Nothing will change. You have to surrender, become the emotion. There's no thoughts, nothing but the emotion. When you're in that level of surrender, energy shifting, changing. All right, so we got a group clearing coming up in half an hour from criticism to praise. Maybe I'll see you there. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here.